more you know.
Na-na-na-na.
Yeah, right? Okay, so every time someone says the more you know and you have the little rainbow that goes across, my mind always goes to Reading Rainbow for some reason.
It
And
does
then
too.
the first thing I think of whenever I think of Reading Rainbow now is the Arnold Schwarzenegger version of Reading Rainbow. Have you heard it?
The more you know. Yeah, I've heard it. Where he does the theme song, the Reading Rainbow.
Oh, God, I love it. It is.
Have you seen the new AI trend? It's hilarious.
Are you
It's
talking about
they took
the Henry Lin trend?
Henry Lin. This one is the Tokyo Drift one.
Yeah, isn't his name in the movie Henry Lin?
Han is the character.
Han.
And he was actually, there was a movie called like Better Luck Tomorrow,
Yes.
which was like his origin story. And I have it on the Fandangos because I always wanted to watch it. It's a tough watch, but
By the way, Henry Lin is like the main Asian mobster from Sons of Anarchy.
okay. That makes sense. I
I
hope he's in God of War then.
His actual name is Kenneth Choi. He was in Wolf of Wall Street, Halloween Town. He was in your
Oh yeah, I love Kenneth Choi. He's good.
He's a good dude. I like him.
Dr. Zeus, how are you doing today? You having a good day?
I'm good. I'm good. Again, we've been live for about 10 and a half minutes again.
Oh, we're killing it then. I love it.
Throw stuff out there.
This is our content for the we got this.
Just delete the script. Just talk. No, we're not
Toss it
doing
out.
that.
Who cares about age verifications? You know, who cares?
I think a lot of people care about the Discord age verifications. They've received so much backlash that they're not rolling it out when they said they were going to. I think it was supposed to launch very early March, like I think March 1st or something, and they've since backed off of it quite a bit. I know a lot of people were pretty pissed about it. When I think of like internet trust and security, Discord does not even make like the top 40 on that list.
Not when your company gets hacked. I feel like twice a month, it feels like, or every other month.
It's one of those things that when you are as big as Discord is, and you have so much information about people and access to conversations, and just, I mean, could you imagine just the advertisement capabilities if they were able to hack a Discord server and just throw up a quick banner across however many millions of, Discord servers there are? That's nuts. Yeah. They do have just a target on their backs. Like, don't get me wrong. It's one of those things that they're not going to be able to get away from just purely because they are that big. It's almost like Elon Musk, his jet is being tracked. There's a Twitter account or an X account that is designed specifically to track the tail numbers of Elon Musk's private jets.
Didn't they have something like that for Taylor Swift as well?
Yep. But no, Discord is delaying its age verification. I did not think it was going to launch. I brought this up before. I brought it up with Roblox. I brought it up with the TikTok stuff. I'm sorry, but it is not up to Discord to raise children. It is not up to Roblox or Minecraft. Now, I understand if your thing is targeted towards children that you want to make sure that certain content isn't on there. And if you want to do that, fine. But I don't think Discord is aimed at children. I think Discord's aimed at gamers. And with the average age of gamers being in their 40s, as we've talked about before, you're no longer targeting children. Now, if it is a Roblox server, there should be something in there. There should be something said. I don't think a Roblox server or a Minecraft server should be able to have a not safe for work chat, if that is what they are built on. I mean, if it's a COD server, no. I'm sorry, but like the entire game is based about you trying to take other people out in horrible ways. Same thing with like Mortal Kombat. But if you're talking MapleStory or like Hello Kitty Island Adventure, you should not be able to have the not safe for work channels on there, or you should require certain verifications at that point. My server, I'm sorry, but I have a public server, and the podcast server is also a public server. With that said, I have to do two-factor authentication. I just feel like it's not on Discord to be trying to police.
I feel like it's a lot of people are getting to this point where they're relying on all these outside sources to parent.
Yes.
And they take no responsibility whatsoever.
Yes.
I've seen it where here's a cell phone and there's no restrictions and the kid is seeing stuff they shouldn't see. or being asked in DMs things that shouldn't be asked.
Now, don't get me wrong. When we were kids, now I'm not talking, like the 7, 8, and 9-year-olds that now have iPhones going into like the 3rd grade. But when we were kids, we were looking up some pretty ridiculous sites. We were looking up Live Leaks. We were looking up Orgish. We were, we saw some things. For the record, we did grow up in a time where, yes, we were cracking jokes about a show being called 9/11, but I was in my junior year of high school when that happened. So the stuff going on over in the Middle East did make it on to a lot of those websites. X was not a thing at that point in time.
Mm-mm.
You actually had to go out and look for things. And being a very curious 15, 16-year-old whatever, you find things. Is the 13-year-old cutoff good enough, for these types of sites? Because that's what they want to set your privileges to, is 13, because you're not supposed to have an account if you're under the age of 13. Again, I feel like that's on the parents to be like, you don't want to do that, that's fine. All right, Nintendo, please be consistent. I understand that Pokemon has made you like 7 boatloads of money. Okay, I understand that. And their 30th anniversary is technically today.
Is it? Oh, the Pokemon Day?
The Pokemon Day is today, February 27th, 2026. This is Pokemon Day, 30th anniversary. But 6 days ago, just 6 days ago, it wasn't like a month ago, it wasn't like a different... 6 days was Zelda's 40th anniversary.
And what did they do for Zelda?
I feel like if we do a short on this, it needs to be that John Travolta thing from Pulp Fiction?
Where he's just looking around?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have that one saved up and ready to go.
All right, so I'll leave that one to you. But it's like, how do you spend all of this money on that? One of the other things that Nintendo did, and I don't remember if I brought it up or not. I brought it up with Missa last night. So Pokemon Legends Z to A had a budget of $13 million. There was a leaked document that showed what the production budget of this game was. Nintendo spent $8 million on a Super Bowl ad for Pokemon. So instead of adding an additional like 60% to the game budget and giving a better quality of game, and let's be honest, no one needs a Pokemon Super Bowl ad. If you're watching the Super Bowl, you know what Pokemon is, or you have no interest in Pokemon. There is no one that's out there watching the game for the first time being like, you know what? That's
the touchdown I need right there.
The commercials this year, Miss and I watched some of them, like the quote highlights and funniest. It was sad. Like there was nothing that was memorable or good about the commercials. Like they used to be productions. Do you remember that one Pepsi commercial that was a 5-minute music video? It had like Beyonce, Britney Spears, and it's just like this long production for like a Pepsi commercial. It was, I want to say like early 2000s. Cool.
Was that before the Justin Timberlake scene?
The wardrobe malfunction?
The wardrobe malfunction?
Look, man, she was wearing a pasty. 100% it was planned.
It was. All of it was planned so they could talk about it. Commercials were hilarious.
Yeah.
There was like time put into them. And now we're just getting, hey, your Ring doorbell camera is going to help people find their dog.
Again, I was happy about that until I realized that no. But now you get commercials like the Doritos. Like, did you see the Doritos Samurai commercial for one of the Super Bowls?
Mm-mm.
He basically made an entire suit of armor with overlapping layers of Doritos. And don't get me wrong, that looks cool and funny. It's just, I feel like there's so many products that just do not need advertising at all.
You know, I also feel another thing is why the commercials are so blank these days.
It's all AI.
It's not even just AI. I think people are afraid of offending other people. So they have to kind of make them this blend thing because they do the wrong thing. It's going to offend this portion or that portion. They're too afraid to offend anybody.
Do you know what offends me? The new Xbox CEO not being an actual gamer.
That I feel sorry for this person. Looking at their background, I was like, okay, none of this has anything to do with video games. Did a website called Porch, which connects homeowners to contractors to improve the house. They did like the Home Depot.
So it's Angie's List.
Angie's List. They were product and engineering VP for the Facebook Messenger.
Oh, okay, so at least they understand what Xbox Chat is going to be, and if they are actually true to what they are saying, that they're going to bring it back to what it used to be. Are we going to have like early 2000s COD lobbies again without people getting canceled? Is that what she wants to bring back?
Seeing as she released her gamer tag publicly, I'm pretty sure she's going to hear a bunch of things that she's never been called before. And this isn't like to encourage that. I just, the way some of those gamers are, they're going to dive her. Get her, boys.
By the way, the reason she's coming in is that Phil Spencer is retiring after 38 years. That's the only reason that she's coming in here at all whatsoever. He announced it, and he's bringing in this woman, Asha Sharma. Now, don't get me wrong. There is one other...
Like, a random thought popped in my head where I was like, let's put this vegan lady in charge of Shane's Rib Shack.
There was another person, Strauss Zelnick. You're like, who the hell is that?
Yeah,
He is the CEO of Take-Two Interactive. They are the publisher of Grand Theft Auto, NBA 2K, and Red Dead Redemption.
Okay.
His statement to it is, I'm not a gamer. I'm just going to read this directly so that I'm not trying to paraphrase. I'm not a gamer. It's not that I don't play a lot. It's that I don't play at all. He views his role as a manager of talent, not a, quote, consumer in chief, and believes that as a leader, his job is to attract and motivate the best talent, then get out of their way. I respect that.
I 100% respect that. He's finding the people that know the gig and leading them to victory. And staying out of their way. I like that part of the quote. Like, I'm staying out of the way. Do your thing.
And that's fine. But this woman then creates a fake gamer tag. And I'm going to call it a fake one because you get this job and then your gamer tag's only a couple months old. Like, you knew this was coming. You created this. And her excuse as to why the gamer tag is so sporadic is that this tag that's only a couple months old is shared throughout her house.
That's a dangerous game she's playing.
And I'm like, hold on, isn't it against TOS for most games to share accounts? Just kind of throwing that out there. God forbid she has something on Nintendo. They'd be charging her for every one of those accounts. They'd be like, oh, you had 5 different people playing Pokemon? You owe us 4 more copies of the game. These people.
These people.
I do hope the best for her. She is relatively young to be heading it up, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing. She's 36 or 37. The reason that I say I guess her birthday is in February, and the article I was looking at just stated 36 or 37. I wasn't getting too far into it because honestly, I didn't really care about Phil Spencer. I'm not going to care about Asha Sharma because
makes me want shawarma.
You're over the top.
Making me hungry.
I don't play on console anymore. I don't care.
And
it would be different if I was wanting to get the new consoles. There was a time where I wanted to get a new Nintendo because I thought about playing Arceus. That Pokemon
it's fun.
The first open world Pokemon game that kind of came out. I thought about it. If it was on PC, I would have bought it. I don't think it is. I don't know if it is. So.
I don't think Nintendo's released anything to PC.
Eventually, everything gets released to it, and it's up to Nintendo to continuously bring up the cease and desists to try to curb all of that stuff. With that being said, PlayStation is saying that they are moving away from PC to do more PlayStation exclusives and focusing on single-player games.
I'm okay with the single-player games, but that sounds a little dangerous. I feel like the PlayStation exclusive games hurt them to begin with. Like with Street Fighter V, they bragged about how exclusive it was, either 4 or 5, where they were saying, we're going to have this exclusive to PlayStation. And they were sad them numbers didn't get as far as they wanted. Because
I feel like alienating part of your player base just off the bat is horrible. I don't think of console when I think of online play. I automatically think of PC. Right. Anytime there is online play, I automatically think PC. I understand that there is competitive console play, but that's not where my mind goes. Because when I watch esports, I'm watching them on PCs, or they're hooked up to a PC network with a controller. I mean, even if you think about it, they have a console still hooked up to the same network for PCs.
Because with the online for consoles, you got to pay the PlayStation subscription, you got to pay the Switch subscription, the Xbox subscription, and as of now, currently on PC, unless you're playing an MMO, you're just paying for your internet provider. It's kind of scary to think that down the road, these game companies could be like, you know what? You need to pay a monthly subscription to you to play our game online,
And
like an MMO.
And only some MMOs do that, by the way.
Right. A lot of them have the free to play unless you want all the features. Like Knights of the Republic is free to play up to a certain level.
Some of it's not just that. It is so like I recently downloaded Guild Wars 2. I played World of Warcraft for years, but I wanted to see what the hype was about. And so I looked into, what MMOs are worth playing in 2026, and Guild Wars 2 was kind of towards the top of the list. The way they do their stuff is there is no monthly subscription at all. Just every time there's a new expansion, you just have to pay for the expansion. And then that's it. WoW, on the other hand, you pay for the expansion and you pay for a monthly subscription. There's a bunch of games that do that type of thing. And I don't mind paying for a monthly sub if the game is worth it.
Right.
But most of the time, it's just not. So let's say WoW went to Xbox. You would still have to pay your internet provider. You would still have to pay for the Xbox ability to play online, whether it's the Game Pass or whatever the hell you want to call it. And then you would still have to pay the monthly subscription to World of Warcraft because that's the game sub. That's not the Xbox or the Microsoft sub. I don't think they could ever do that with PC because first off, I don't go through PSN or Nintendo or anything like that. I go straight through my internet provider.
Right.
When I'm, using my PC. How would you do that exactly? Would they just have to put a limiter or something on it? And then are we just going to have to start jailbreaking PCs? Or does everyone just go to Linux at that point and just like give the middle finger to Microsoft and Apple?
Well, I feel like just like on an MMO, playing the next Call of Duty 22 or whatever, Battlefield 9, they could very well be like, all right, terms of service, you want to use this, click on your OK. By the way, to play online, you could do the single player, but in order to play online, you have to pay $5 a month.
And that would absolutely tank their game into the dirt.
It's very possible it could. And I'm trying not to wish this upon us and jinx it. With microtransactions and everything these people are doing, from CEOs joking about paying people to be able to reload their guns and all that, like charging people that, I can very well see that down the road, they will try to do like a subscription service for online for their individual games.
So Darren got a lot of heat for his hot take on it. And that was that every time, like he thinking of like a hardcore game that you would have to rebuy a cheap game. Like it'd have to be very cheap, but you'd have to rebuy lives every time you die in like Call of Duty.
Stupid.
I thought so too. But he's like, no, it's going to deter cheaters. I'm like, no, it's not, because they're using hacked accounts. You're just going to be punishing all these other people. If a dude goes in there with like a spin bot and wipes a lobby, you're telling me that call it a Warzone lobby, you're telling me that 149 people are going to have to rebuy COD because of one spin bot? He was trying to think of a way to like combat cheaters and to make it not worth it for them to, buy the game or whatever it is, but you ban them. That's the easiest thing to do, is that you ban them. And I understand the whole free-to-play thing is nice for a lot of people, but when you ban someone that has put money into it, the likelihood of them cheating or whatever just drops drastically.
Plus, a lot of the hackers, they do it to troll anyways. It's not even about like, I just want to be the best. There are the ones that do the subtle cheating to win.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of them just want to troll. Look at the Grand Theft Auto hackers that come in. They're just jokers. They're chaos. Come in and just do as much damage as they can. Then you also get kind of the nice people that just drop off amazing loot and weapons for you in like Borderlands.
So, yeah, well, that was a thing called gibbing. There was an entire, and that also is that is an offline program that you're then taking into online things. It's what the original Diablo and Diablo 2 did, which is what they were trying to keep from Diablo 3, and I think they did a decent job with it. What it is you go into a single-player game on your client, and then you mess with the files there. Once those files are saved, you take that character, whatever the items are, into a multiplayer game and then drop them. I used gibbing. I used the program for it because my old roommate and I had already beat Borderlands 2 so many times that we did not want to have to go out and find the perfect weapons again in order to try something out. And so we would just take whatever and it wasn't even the best roll, because there's like a randomizer type thing, and you could get like an item with a randomizer, and we would just take a randomized item. You could do a perfect rolled item if you wanted to. You could do items that did not actually exist in game and give yourself, additional like 50 billion damage or whatever. But
take that, Terramorphous.
Yeah, right. But for us, it was all about not having to go and grind to try a new build that wasn't on the wiki, that wasn't on whatever other website. It wasn't something that was just a cookie cutter type build. It was something that was much more fun. Like, we created an Anarchy stack sniper build.
Oh, I love. What is that, Gauge?
It was Gauge. But the thing is with Anarchy, the higher your stacks of Anarchy, the worse your accuracy gets. So you go
the more damage you get, though, right?
Yes. It basically equates 1-to-1. And so you would go to scope in with like 250 stacks of Anarchy, and you could be 3 feet from the target, and instead of your round going where it's supposed to, it hits the wall to your right. It's not even possible for your barrel to shoot, but that's where the bullet goes.
Now, isn't it with that build, you have the ricochet shot that goes towards the enemy, right?
I forget what the build was exactly, because there was a sniper that did multiple rounds. And again, it was us just trying something different and fun and stupid. That wasn't something that was over the top, because everyone knows that you just use the conference call with Gauge, because it had that spray that went back and forth in the zigzag all the way out to infinity. And then with the Anarchy stacks, it was just this random pattern, but it was still back and forth, and it still worked. I'm calling it now. We are doing a lore lounge on Borderlands.
Borderlands. You got it.
At some point, we're doing this. I did go and look up Arc Raiders, which is one of the games that has a lot of cheaters going on right now. And just by a quick search, there are websites that you can get. I'm going to guess it's a hacked thing or whatever it is, so I'm not supporting it, which is why I'm not going to bring up the websites. But you can buy new accounts for like $10. The game is $40. I don't know how they're getting these keys. I don't want to know. I have my copy of the game. We're going to leave it at that. And sometime I might go back to it. I might end up playing it, and it could be fun. But have you heard about the newest hack? Not the duping one.
I remember they were doing the threats on the weapon dupe, banning accounts for it. There's already another exploit for this game.
It is even more game-breaking than duping items, in my opinion.
That's concerning. All right, what do we dupe? Well, not even dupe. So what are they exploiting now? Is it I bet it's immortality. Like, someone found a way to be immortal.
I'm pretty sure that's out there somewhere, and you're not far off. So have you played the game at all, or just watched it played or anything like that?
I've seen like some troll videos or people having fun or trying to like launch each other into the sky or something.
So in order to get out, you have to go to an extraction point. You hit a little button, the alarms go off. It says, stand by, and then you go inside, and it takes like 6 seconds, and you enter something on the computer, and then the doors close and you exit. There's a second way of doing it, which is called a raider hatch. You have to have a key. You go over to these like little raider hatches, you use the key, and you get out, and it's quiet. The new cheat is that hackers are spawning in raider hatches in the middle of the map, wherever they happen to be, and using them instantly and just getting out of the map.
Do they need to have the key?
I honestly don't even know. I've seen one video on this. There's probably way more of them, but this is just the one that I saw. This guy is about to get into a firefight. You see him look up at a rock and then turn around, and there is a raider hatch just in the middle of the dirt. The lid opens up. There's just dirt, and you see him crawl into it, and it says "Returning to Esperanza."
Okay. Are they doing like? Are they hacking it, or is there an exploit?
No idea. No, I don't think it's an exploit, because as far as I know, actually, I'm almost 100% certain that there's no way to spawn a hatch or to spawn in anything. The only thing you can technically spawn in is a couple of the arc. So you can have like certain grenades or certain items that you can throw that will spawn in some arc. Basically, you throw like this little beacon almost, and then a couple of arc will then come down from the sky. and start kind of circling the area. As far as I know, that's the only way to, quote, spawn something in. It's just a hack. I don't know. I mean, it has to be just messing with source code. As far as invincibility goes, I think this is the closest you can get without being straight, typing in power overwhelming.
'Tis a good day to die. I think that was the Warcraft 2 version.
I think that was the Warcraft 2 version. The StarCraft one was power overwhelming. And then my favorite of those like little cheat codes thing is there is no cow level.
There was no cow level and glittering prizes. I don't know what it was. Glittering prizes was fun to type.
But there is no cow level would instantly give you a victory screen. And that was, of course, the reference to Diablo.
Diablo with the no cows.
Good
old.
God, whatever. Back when Blizzard was good. Did we cover everything with the Arc Raider stuff?
I think Arc Raiders is good. So it's funny about the StarCraft. I was watching a short with the history explaining why, like, what jump started StarCraft.
Mm-hmm.
And it was after Warcraft 2, they were kind of burnt out. They didn't want to do another fantasy. At the time, George Lucas actually came forward and like, hey, we want to make a game. We want to do an RTS for Star Wars. And around that, so they were working on it. They had plans, and they were literally in development stages. Some Star Wars game like Yoda's Desktop Adventure came on, and it was a terrible game. And George Lucas pulled all of it. He's like, nope, all games need to go through me now. Any deal we have going on right now, pull back. We're not doing it. So Blizzard was like, well, we still want to make this game. What do we do?
So I had not quite. So close. You're like 90% of the story there. Then they ended up trying to just create Warcraft in space. And the reviews and the responses were so horrible that they pretty much scrapped the entire project and started over. And that's how we ended up with StarCraft, with the 3 races.
Wait, so we were going to have humans and orcs in space? Like, the battle progressed from Azeroth to Spaceroth?
If you think about it, as far as like Warcraft lore goes, you have a bunch of space things in there already. You have a bunch of dimensions. You have a bunch of other worlds. You know what I mean? Like, you actually have like the Hellfire Peninsula. And I think it's...
And the Draenei.
Yeah, which are basically an alien race.
Yeah, Draenei, from what I understand, are aliens. But none of that was introduced until like WoW, I thought. I don't even think the Draenei were even in the original lore for like Warcraft 1 and 2.
But the Dark Portal and the transferring from one world to another was there. Speaking of WoW and Blizzard, with all of this.
What are they doing now?
Have you seen the new Zillow for the Blizzard housing?
I think I saw like an article. People are charging
to find houses.
Airbnbs.
And to like find certain houses and whatever. So with the Midnight update, or the Midnight expansion, I should say, you're now able to have houses in World of Warcraft. My old guild has an entire neighborhood. And the GM found an area where just his house can be by himself on an island and no one else can build out there. I don't know anything else about the whole Zillow thing. I just thought that it was a funny thing to think about.
Wasn't like people getting like banned in Pinterest for like posting something about it?
Housing feature is social media site. Pinterest is another area where Blizzard is hoping players will find housing inspiration. Those who link their WoW account to Pinterest will unlock an achievement and receive an in-game toy, the Pin-O-Matic camera. The camera can then be used to automatically post in-game screenshots to Pinterest. Unfortunately, players attempting to participate are being banned or suspended for violating Pinterest spam policies, despite players on Reddit and WoW forums reportedly having only posted a single in-game screenshot. Stupid. Wow. That's the game we're talking about as WoW. But speaking of game updates and some fun things going on, you heard about Stardew Valley and their new update?
Yes, I have, and I am excited for this because I feel like you're going to be able to marry the most useful male figure on the island.
Okay, so I have to take back what we talked about off stream.
Okay.
Because you can marry Harvey.
The pharmacist?
The doctor. For me, there are only 2 males that are...
This is going to cause some controversy. Do not get me wrong.
Oh, that's fine.
Because you and I agree on the best bachelorettes, Haley, Penny, and Abigail.
That's it. It's like you either get the big boob bimbo, you get your little goth mommy, or you pull a poor child out of a alcoholic and probably abusive family.
Yeah, out of poverty.
That's it.
I can't remember her name. It wasn't Penny. It's the other one, but she's very self-sufficient. She lives down from the farm supply store.
You're not talking about Marnie, right? Because Marnie's getting it on with with Mayor Lewis.
Right, because that's where you got to find the missing underwear. Is it not Robin?
Be Leah.
I forgot about Sam. Sebastian. You got your goth Sebastian emo kid.
No. Again, there is. I am 100% on this, and people can at me all they want. That up until this new update, which is I think is what 1.7, that there is only one truly eligible bachelor in all of Stardew Valley, and that's Harvey.
Yeah, because out of that we got Alex, Elliot, Harvey, Sam, Sebastian, and Shane. Alex is just the meathead, right? He just lifts weights all the time.
I believe Alex was in the army.
No, army guy was the husband of what's her name? Shane's mom, right?
Yes, so Kent, the husband of Jody, the father of Sam and Vincent. The funny thing about that is that Jody is the name that's given to the dude that is doing your wife when you're deployed, or your significant other while you're deployed. Whoever
Who writes the Dear John?
No. So Dear John or Dear Jane is a letter that you receive while you're deployed that your significant other is breaking up with you.
Right.
Jody is whoever your significant other is cheating on you with while you're deployed.
I never knew that one. I knew about the Dear John Jane letters.
But yeah, so that's Jody. So anytime we talk about that, it's Jody. We had
That's
a
hilarious.
joke that if it was in Kent Pendleton, it was probably Jose instead of Jody.
Oh, God.
Again, if you know, you know. I'm going to go back and say it again. There's only one eligible bachelor in all of Stardew Valley, and it's Harvey. That's it. And we all know that if Robin was single, or if you could like talk to the wizard and just make her forget about her husband, that everyone would marry Robin. Everyone would marry the redhead. And that's probably the other reason that Penny is like higher on the list, is purely because she's the only eligible ginger.
I mean, Robin is beautiful.
I mean, yeah, and is hardworking. Like, could you imagine the discount you could get on your farm if you married Robin?
Free upgrades all day.
There was a meme that I saw that reminded me to bring this whole thing up, and it said, geodes aren't the only thing I'm going to be cracking over at Clint's place.
Oh, my God. Leia is also a redhead in Stardew Valley.
Oh, right.
For Bachelorettes? Because I like Leia. She was cool.
Leia's all right. I always forget about her.
So does the internet, honestly. I'm literally looking at a Reddit post that says, just realized Leia exists. I was like, oh, that's hilarious. Because she's never home. She's always out and about doing something.
That's it. Again, I'm still going to go with Goth Mommy or Bimbo.
I just like Haley's character growth in the game.
The fact that she likes coconuts.
Yes,
she's the easiest person to get full stars with, because you give her coconuts.
Yes.
And once you have access to the desert, like you just have them. Yeah, no, I'm looking at the characters, and yeah, Harvey, Goth Mommy, and Haley. That's it. And now, of course, Clint.
See, that I'm looking forward to. Sandy and Clint to come back and rein into what we were speaking of. The new candidates are Clint and Sandy. Sandy of the desert town, Clint of the ore cracking society there.
Sandy's a new redhead. Her loved gifts are daffodils. Okay, she is now the easiest one to
Yeah, because that's just garbage on the ground right there.
Sweet peas, mango sticky rice. I don't know, man. But no, you can go over and help Clint get his rocks off, if you know what I mean.
There's too many rock puns you can do with Clint.
Too many rock puns.
I remember I was reading something and people were saying like Clint is the most despised character in Stardew Valley.
No,
like,
because Krobus and Linus both exist.
Which one's Linus? Oh, he's the homeless guy, right?
The homeless dude. They all they do is talk trash about him.
Your pun game is on fire for this.
I got this. And I actually think the wizard would be the most hated person if it wasn't for him erasing people's memories.
That he has a child that you can romance named Abigail.
Yeah. Dummy mommy or big tits. That's pretty much it.
That might get us some fan backlash over that.
I don't know how, because it's kind of a universal thing. Like, you don't marry the guys for whatever, like any of the reasons. Like, they don't. That's like, there's one pretty boy, and that's about it. Other than that, all of the girls in there are.
Well, yeah, like we may get some backlash from the fans over the marriage candidates. Do you know of anything else that's getting some backlash recently?
The gaming industry as a whole, like most of the stuff we have talked about today is just backlash.
Yes, Microsoft CEOs, all this stuff.
Yeah, so we have the Xbox CEO and the non-gaming chick. That's backlash. The Discord stuff is backlash. The hackers is backlash. The people that are posting images on Pinterest are backlash.
Not even plural, just one image.
Just one image. It's just a single backlash. It's not a backlashing.
And all they're trying to do is get the toy item for their house. That's all they want. We did briefly mention the Pokemon birthday, but we didn't really say what the cool thing that Nintendo is doing to celebrate the birthday.
I don't actually know whether that was in this recording or the previous one, because remember we started twice before already.
Yeah. Well, because earlier in the beginning that's right. I don't know if it's in this recording. Maybe it is. What if it's not? At least the cool thing is a positive from backlash is, I mean, this might actually have some backlash, but with Pokemon's birthday today, was it February 27th? I think the games are already on the Classic, Switch Classic online for the retro consoles like the Game Boy Advance, the Nintendo 64, Game Boy itself. Mm-hmm. For Game Boy, you're getting the trading card, Pokemon trading card game. N64, you're getting Puzzle League, which is just Tetris Attack with a Pokemon skin. Mm-hmm. Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2. Game Boy Advance, you're getting Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red. And if you pay, I think it's with tax, $21 each, you can get Fire Red and Leaf Green, the Game Boy Advance versions of Red and Blue. I actually, when you went to the restroom, I already purchased and downloaded them.
I'm not as annoyed about this one because they're at least updating graphics, right? They're at least like
no. There's no. I think it's the original game. I don't know for sure because I haven't played it, and I am going to experiment with it after the stream. I believe the reason they had to make this one paid is so they can maybe get the Pokemon to communicate with their other app, the cloud service for storage, the Pokemon Homes app.
So I'm going to stop you right there. And I know we did talk about this in this segment because I already brought up the fact that they paid $8 million for a Super Bowl ad. And now they're going to charge you for a 15-year-old game.
Well, we were talking about, when we brought up the 8 million, we were talking about Arceus and ZA. And that's why there's like, you guys should put that money towards that.
And that's fine, but that means they don't need the money. Like, it's just...
I'm okay with it because I'm getting a Pokemon game for under $60.
The fact that you and the rest of the world is going to be happy about getting a mainline story game from over a decade ago for $20, that's nuts.
Keep in mind, I remember I went to the Game Exchange to get my Game Boy Advance fixed, and they saw my Fire Red, and they tried to buy it from me right then and there.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Like, the older games are selling for hundreds and whatever, but they can also get a knockoff version of it. Like, you can get a fake. They basically...
R4.
What is it called?
An R4 chip for, like, the DS?
I don't know. Like, So you can go online right now and buy the entire Pokemon collection of all games for like $200. None of them are original games. They're all, quote, fake games, but they look, they have the same cartridge and files or whatever to them. I get wanting to have an original as far as a collection goes, but if you're actually just there to play the game, I don't see the difference.
That's why I'm okay with paying the $20. Like, I just want to play the game. Also, if I can get the ability to upload Pokemon to the cloud with the OGs, that means I'm like, okay, I'm starting the game like gonna be 6 times, but I'm starting the game over, picking my Pokemon, throwing them in the cloud, starting a new game.
Why 6 times?
Because I bought both Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Don't you just have to play 4 times then?
Maybe. Because what if I want one for each?
What do you mean one for each? Like one for each starter for each game?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you play red. You get your 3 starters onto red, and then you have your green one playthrough to catch all of the stuff that is, green specific. You trade that over, and you just have all 151 or whatever it happens to be on your red file.
I don't think there's a legit way to get Mew, though, in Fire Red or Leaf Green.
There was for the original game. There was like a very specific way of getting like a level 5 Mew. It was like a Bellsprout or an Oddish or something. Yeah, there's a bunch of...
I remember the missing number.
Missing
where
go?
You could like give yourself... the missing no, so you can get infinite Master Balls.
Or infinite anything, really.
Whatever was in like the 7th item slot would just be rare candies, all that stuff.
I think that was before. I don't actually know. Was it always in like all the Pokemon games that if you leveled them up properly, you got more stats than if you gave them a rare candy? Or did that only start later on in the series?
That started from the beginning. The EVs, they called it. I don't remember what it stands for because I'm not that...
EV, and EV stands for effort values. They allowed stats to be maximized simultaneously rather than being limited to a total of 510 points. Whatever. I gave my stuff just a bunch of rare candies and...
Yeah, if you were playing the story mode, just doing a single player, no PvP, it didn't even matter.
Well, you couldn't even do proper PvP back then. Like, you had to have friends, and if you were playing Pokemon and had that much time to get level 99s properly, you didn't have friends.
So this was near the end of elementary school, I recall, and we had our Game Boys, and we were playing Red and Blue. We were fighting all the time during recess until they banned it, where we couldn't bring the Game Boys anymore.
Yeah, 98. So that would have... no, 98 is middle school. Because we started high school in 99.
That's right. The Sinaloa Hill. Okay. Yeah. So, in junior high, they banned it.
Oh, see, the thing that they banned at my school was Tamagotchis.
Pogs and Tamagotchis, they banned
Pogs?
stuff.
Well, I mean, Pogs, rightfully so. I mean that's just straight gambling.
In a way.
That's just straight gambling.
I miss my McDonald's Back to the Future Slammer. Oh, I miss that thing.
Oh, hold on.
Please tell me you have the Back to the Future Slammer. Oh my God, you have Grimace. That's so dope.
I actually have a Pog just sitting on my desk.
I actually have a Pog sheet, in like a binder with my Pogs, and I know I have a couple like Power Ranger ones.
I actually was in a Pog tournament at Knott's Berry Farm at one point. So I have a bunch of official Pogs from that tournament. I don't know why, but every single one of the Pogs has a staple through it. Kind of weird. And then
I don't have any of those with a staple, yeah.
Yeah, whoever won the whole tournament ended up with like this like little slammer or whatever that was from the tournament saying like winner. I was in like these semifinals, but that was it. I didn't like it because it's just how they had the whole thing. It was on like a crate, so it was like a really weird bounce because they had like a piece of AstroTurf on top of a crate.
That feels no, I don't like that.
Yeah, right. Just put me on a school desk or on the concrete floor because that's why. Like I don't know if you can see it or not, but this thing is very jacked up.
He's shiny. I think he's shiny. Oh, I can see like the
edges and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
But yeah, Could you
imagine like if Pogs was still a thing? If they made it into like a sport?
They tried to bring it back. It didn't work. Kids don't care. Kids don't have friends. And you can't play digital Pogs. Could you imagine trying to play Pogs on like a PC? You literally
No, but I can imagine it on like a Switch using the motion controllers or like a Wii.
All you're doing at that point is just still rolling, a 20-sided die or whatever, or like you're like
RNG for Pog Toss.
That's it. I can't do it. Game discovery backlash. Since we are just going to go all over backlash, there's a lot of issues about people and the discoverability because of AI games.
The backlash is about the transparency of, is AI being used or not, which kind of gives me an example. I remember I was watching a video on YouTube that had some computer animations on there, and they clearly stated, hey, this animation was done by humans. When there's a bunch of stuff going on where they're saying they're just showing animations, there's always going to be kind of the thought in the back of your head is like, so was this done by AI and someone got stiffed on a job? Are people going to kind of lie about it? Like, oh, this was all done by humans and not AI, but it was secretly done by AI. I can see where the backlash would be coming from that. I mean, we saw how mad people got for Expedition 33 for a placeholder.
Okay, that entire thing, I am convinced that it was just looking for a reason to hate because it was a good game. It was a good soundtrack. The dev team was appreciative and
Knighted.
Not knighted.
Even knighted.
But I feel like all that hate was just manufactured hate because they were looking for something. Because they can't, nothing can be perfect. Like, someone has to hate things for a reason. And I think that just gave them their reason. Because I'm sorry, but AI is used in everything at this point. Even if you say it's not used, it's still used. Because I guarantee you that someone, if they don't remember what the code is, they're going to Google and they're using AI to pull up whatever that code is to then copy paste it real quick. Or when they're looking for a prompt or what, it does not matter. I understand that like a placeholder thing made it into the game. Okay, so someone got stiffed, what, $50 to make a placeholder on a like multi-million-dollar, if not even $1 billion game at this point? I just don't see the issue. Like, they could have just put a picture of you there as a placeholder. But they didn't. They just used an AI generated thing. And I understand that their whole backlash is, well, what if they used more and they just didn't tell us? That wasn't it. AI is a good thing. I hope it doesn't get to Skynet.
I hope so. I hope it does not either. Like, I'm like,
But I will.
That's why I always say thank you and please to my searches.
Oh God, I should
drain more resources, but
whatever. I am going to continue to always talk to ChatGPT as if they're a person. And be like, hey, that looks really good. Thank you. And whatever. And it even says you're welcome and blah, blah, blah. I understand that it takes resources. I really don't care that it takes resources because I am worried about how I look to the AI, not how I look like to the overlords of the AI.
I don't want to be a battery for the Matrix.
Talked about the Nintendo stuff.
Okay,
was there more that you wanted to bring up about Nintendo?
Not just Nintendo, but gaming hardware in general. Like, I know a lot of people don't think the RAM thing is going to be a big deal, but I'm hearing rumors that it's already hitting like handhelds right now.
It is.
And that's going to be like more cost pressure on everything.
There was an article that a person ordered RAM from China. It still cost half as much as if they would have bought it at their local store. Are you looking that up?
I'm looking at newegg.com right now, and I want to see RAM prices right now.
Okay.
That's crazy to me.
How much is RAM right now?
32, 2 sticks, $539. DDR5. $649. $837 for 232s. Ugh. God, this used to be like the cheapest part of the computer. Yeah, cheaper than the case. Maybe the power supply would be a little bit more or a little bit less. This is nuts. The world is insane with this.
So off stream, I brought up the Winter Olympics, and we kind of agree that we don't really give two craps about the Olympics.
Not even gonna lie, I didn't even know what was going on.
Unless it's curling. Honest. Curling, for some reason, just listening to those people just screaming at this like very polished stone going down some ice. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm not going to blow out people's eardrums. But there was a little bit of news that matters to us. First off, there was the speed skater from the Netherlands, Jenning de Boo. Did you see him?
I didn't see it. Only thing I know about is like what you told me about him, and he is my hero for his nickname there.
On his skates, he had a little picture of King Boo on the outside of his skate. I just thought that was fun. But I will let you talk about your newest crush.
Alyssa Liu.
Okay.
Gold medalist, ice skater, down-to-earth person. In many interviews, she was asked a question about anime, and she was listing off some of her favorite: Attack on Titan, Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, Soul Eater, which I love. Soul Eater has Troy Baker as the Excalibur and has his own little song.
But no, I did watch some of her interview, and Now, she is saying a lot of the more popular things. Like, she is saying basically the Netflix top 5. Aside from
I don't think
this,
Soul Eater's Soul Eater is the exception on that one.
well, I have no idea what Pula Magi Modaka Magica is.
That one I have no clue.
But she did bring up that there was the new chapters coming out for Chainsaw Man, which the interviewer is like, wait, you read the manga? And she's like, oh yeah, of course I read the manga. She really wants her own Fortnite skin.
I'd buy it.
You don't play Fortnite.
I don't.
You're just gonna
But
put
I
it on
saw
the
Dragon Ball ones.
just gonna put it on the shelf next to Goku and Piccolo.
Goku and Vegeta, yeah. And,
So you're gonna have Saiyans and skating.
Saiyan skaters, yeah.
All right.
I wanted to get the Trunks one, but I missed. I couldn't. I didn't even know when the release was on it. I'm like, well, I missed out on Trunks. But yeah, no, I'd buy it. I remember the interview. It was they were asking her, it's like, okay, would you, if you had to choose, would you do another gold medal or be the best Fortnite player? And she's like, neither. That would be boring. I'm like, that's the coolest answer I think I've ever heard.
Side note, talking about skins, I recently watched a YouTube video about really rare Overwatch skins. And I own 4 of the 5 that were considered like super rare Overwatch skins.
Nice.
One of them in particular was a skin. It's a Zarya skin, and she's an alien. But it was made specifically for a like player of the year that then got picked up by, you know, having some SA allegations.
Oh gosh, okay.
So then the skin was discontinued very quickly. But if you have it, you have it. And that's kind of how I feel with the whole McCree thing. His name is McCree. I will forever say his name is Jesse McCree. Even in the cinematics, because they're old and they never updated them, Ash still calls him McCree or Jesse in one of those cinematics.
Right.
If you're going to rename the dude and you're going to like be that hard up about this whole thing, you need to go back and like retcon your cinematics, and you need to get rid of all of that stuff. But I don't know if I've ever showed you, I have comic books behind me that have his name as McCree.
There was a few Overwatch comics like that. And I get they based the character off of somebody, and he got his allegations, if not proven. I'm not sure. I don't know the case. I don't care about the case. I think the situation's terrible if it did happen. I feel it's like you can hate the artist, but you can still love the art. And I think it's like, okay, let's keep McCree. He's a positive character.
So their issue with it is that, well, first off, if you're going to name your characters after your devs, you're planting your flag. You're taking a stand, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm sorry, you just kind of need to stick with that, because now throughout the community, there's 2 sides of it. There are people that are like, oh, his name's Cass, whatever. And there are other people that's like, no, I know his name as 1, either McCree, or 2, I'm going to continue to call him McCree purely out of spite for them changing the name for this thing that has no reason. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
I have a guy that I used to play a bunch of COD with. His name is Jesse James. I don't think that he's going to go change his name because there was a bandit in the, like, 1900s or something that was named Jesse James. Know what I mean? It's not that it's so stupid. Continue with it. You have something about Marvel?
Oh yes,
I know nothing. I know nothing about Marvel these days.
So sometime this year in 2026, our glorious year of 2026, Marvel Maximum Collection will be dropping. The main excitement for this is very limited run. They had the old like 6-player X-Men arcade game that you can download off like the Xbox Marketplace or the PlayStation Store, and then it just dropped off. You can't get it anymore. If you have it, you have it. If you didn't get a chance to get it, you can't get it. So this collection, just like how Marvel did their fighting game one and gave you Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and the Punisher, this one's giving us that X-Men arcade game with 6-player online feature, the Captain America and the Avengers. They're giving the arcade version, Sega Genesis version, Super Nintendo version. I mean, the arcade version's the best one. That was a quarter popper if there was ever one. We're getting both Maximum Carnage and Separation Anxiety for Spider-Man. Maximum Carnage was known for its difficult boss. It was just a really hard beat-em-up game. Mm-hmm. But you're getting up again, Genesis, Super Nintendo version. The other ones they're getting is the Arcade's Revenge, which was a Spider-Man's game that let you play as different X-Men as well. And you're getting, again, Game Boy, Game Gear, Super Nintendo, and Genesis. And the most infamous one of all, you will be getting the Nintendo version, Silver Surfer.
I kind of wish that they also brought back the other X-Men games.
The Nintendo one?
No, the Genesis ones.
Those are good. I actually think I have. I know I have a Clone War, the Clone War copy where it was X-Men 2.
That was 2. That was one of the coolest cheat codes ever. So you had to hold down like A, C, and down on the controller. You then had to unplug it from player 1, put it into player 2, continue to hold down, A, C, hit start a few times, and then switch it back over to the first one, and it gave you like 99 lives.
I'll just never forget being stuck because, again, we didn't have the internet to look up strategy guides. To get to the last stage, so you get to a fight, you have to beat Mojo.
Mm-hmm.
And then your game, it looks like it freezes.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't progress. And there's nothing you can do except reset your console. And that starts the final stage.
Yep.
A lot of people, I remember a lot of my friends were just like, what do we do?
One of the coolest things about the first X-Men is that you beat Magneto and then he becomes a playable character.
That was 2.
That was 2?
That was 2.
You sure?
I'm willing to bet money on that one.
I'm looking this up.
Characters: Beast, Cyclops, Gambit, Nightcrawler, Psylocke, Wolverine. Unlockable after the 3rd level, Magneto.
Yep, you're right. I'm looking. I'm
Wars.
looking at the game right now, and I'm wondering, did I ever beat this thing?
Clone Wars, I did. X-Men 1, I beat. That was a pain. Best trick I can ever recommend if you go back: just be Nightcrawler, teleport through the walls.
That's kind of what I did. So Psylocke was the most badass character in the game.
Psylocke was good. She was her blade did like extra damage. Beast was fun. Like there were certain stages that were really good for. So certain characters were good for certain stages. The first stage was always random. I remember someone figured out button combinations. If you held them, you could select your character. But the first stage was usually random.
Yep. I just loved being able to use your like helpers. Like Archangel would come in and fire.
That was the first one.
3 or 4 things across the screen.
Or if you fall off the edge, Jean Grey picks you up, and
yep, the first time.
And then Storm comes and like clears the screen. The first one, it was difficult, but God, that was a fun game. Like you're right, they should be bringing. I wish that was part of the collection, and maybe we'll get if this one does good, we'll get a collection too. Not to mention the Marvel Infinity Stone side-scrolling games that they had, where you got to be all the different Avengers. They had Mutant Apocalypse for Super Nintendo, which was amazing. Where you got to be, again, just a bunch of different X-Men. Each X-Men had their own stage.
I do like the Maximum Carnage. I played the hell out of Maximum Carnage. You were able to do this really cool thing for bosses that if the very first hit on bosses was the double web thing to the sides and then you like smack them together, it would kill them instantly.
Ooh, I did not know. Does that work for Carnage? Because that final boss was a nightmare.
Well, only if you had another thing on screen with it. So there was one where it was like the very end of like the first level or the second level, and then things just keep attacking you, and you could just start stacking up lives. And all you would do is just every time 2 dudes would come into the screen, you would just pull them together and they die instantly. Pull them together, die instantly. And that's all you would do back and forth, just continuously. I don't think you could do it on Carnage. I don't think I ever beat the game.
I couldn't beat Carnage.
I remember the cloak and dagger thing coming in when you were
Power
at
like
the cathedral or whatever. You're basically at a funeral and Carnage breaks through the stained glass window, beats on the casket, and then like jumps out the door. So good.
It was great for its time. Separation Anxiety was hard, but again, these games were great because they gave us the chance to finally play as Venom in a game.
Yep.
And it was 2-player.
I don't remember Maximum Carnage being 2-player.
Pretty sure it was.
Might have been.
That one I'm not willing to bet money on, but now I gotta look it
up. Lastly, we have the PlayStation Games of the Month. This is all you.
Okay, Maximum Carnage was not 2-player, but I believe Separation Anxiety was. My favorite part, the monthly games coming out. we are going to be kicking off March with PGA Tour 2K25. And for my Platinum
Boring.
Hunters, I know, 4 out of 10 difficulty, 2 playthroughs required, and about 60 hours estimated time. I'm excited for this one, but I already own it. Monster Hunter Rise, a very fun game. I put a lot of hours onto it. One of the DLC lets you have the voice of Aaron from Game Grumps. It's a kind of good voice, and it's a lot of references to it to his YouTube channel. So, Platinum, 5 out of 10 difficulty, 1 playthrough. It's a grind game, 250 hours plus ETA to Platinum.
Okay, so 5 out of 10 means that is just baseline. The way I think of things is that it is very normal.
Yeah. The reason I think it's even a 5 out of 10, it's just most likely because of the grinding for the crowns.
Okay, because that just to me does not seem like a 5 out of 10 game other than just the time put into it. But there are other games that take way more time that also are the same difficulty. You know what I mean? Like when it just takes time, I don't feel like that should be in difficulty.
I don't think the time is incorporated into the difficulty. I just think some of the monsters, because some of those fights, you're fighting 2 or 3 elder dragons or whatever. You're fighting like Teostra, and then the other one, the blue fire lion. There's ones where you're just fighting 2 or 3 at a time.
Right, but
which can be pretty difficult.
But that gets so much easier as you get your gear and...
Yes and no, because if you're fighting 3 of these things, gear or not, they're gonna mess you up.
And is that the requirement for the Platinum trophies, or is it?
I don't even know what I think for the trophies on that one, the one I really know for sure is you have to get all the gold crowns and small crowns. So that's like the only one I can recall. I don't even know how far I got on it on the PS5 or the PS4 version of it.
So
but there is an easy one.
Do you not have the Platinum for Rise?
I have it for Wilds.
Well, then you know what you got to do then.
Slime Rancher 2.
Never played Slime Rancher. I've heard good things about it.
I'm looking forward to giving it a Platinum. It's an easy Platinum. We're looking at a 2 out of 10 difficulty. Requires only 1 playthrough. About 30 hours estimated time for that one.
Okay.
So it might be a fun. This next one, I don't have the time. I'm never going to do it. Elder Scrolls Online. This is considered a 9 out of 10 difficulty. 1 playthrough because it's an online MMO. 600 plus hours ETA to get the Platinum on that one.
There has got to be some achievements in there that just aren't really obtainable to the average person. So like World of Warcraft, you have certain achievements in there. Like you are never getting every achievement in that game. Like there are some people that have done that, but it's taken them years. And I mean, I think closer to like a decade to get every achievement.
Isn't there achievements in WoW for being like the first to take down like a raid boss or something like that?
Yes, but those are called feats of strength. They aren't actually on the achievement list. But things that are on the achievement list is that you have to hit like 2,200 in rated arena. So you have to be at least in the top like 20%, if not higher, in order to do that. Three's Company. This is the single hardest skill-based achievement in the game. 2,700 rating in 3v3. The current rank 1, and this was old, by the way. This is from 1 year ago. The current rank 1 cutoff for threes is 2,500. There have been seasons where it is easier to get into the top 0.5% of accounts than it is to get a 2,700 rating. Yeah, that's like one of those things that it's just, I don't feel that is proper or achievable. There's another one that's called Hotter Streak, and you need to get 10 consecutive wins after being in the top like 10%. I have Hot Streak.
I hate trophies like that. I hate achievements like that so much. Like, nope.
Well, it's an MMO, and so fine. And this is just a Reddit thing. Another one is hardest and most time-consuming achievement in World of Warcraft is considered to be Honor Level 500. Requires roughly 6,500 hours and over 13,000 battlegrounds to earn 4.4 million honor.
But that's everything I have on my list. You got anything? Anything fun?
I think we covered everything that I wanted to cover.
Is there anything you don't want to cover?
Your face, because it's beautiful.
I love that. Oh.
All right, you gonna do proper outro?
Proper outro, no interruptions this time.
All right, ready, set, go.
So everybody, if you want to just get the audio only of our streams, you can check us out on Amazon Music, iHeart, and Apple Podcast. For the videos that are edited, we do release those on YouTube and Spotify. Now, we are kind of thinking, we're tossing around the idea of like a Patreon for unedited videos. Let us know if that's something you guys would be interested in. It's not going to be an astronomical price. We'll keep it reasonable. Just for the shorts, we got YouTube Shorts, we got the Facebook Shorts, TikTok, and Instagram. So check it out, guys. We do this for you.
Have a good one. I keep expecting you to say something random.